Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Geek Bytes podcast. You surprised me there. I'm Ramon Mejia. This is episode number 95 of the podcast. Every podcast I bring you the roundup of geek and tech news. We discuss that news, and of course anything else that we're interested in that week. And by we, I mean me, just the week. Ramon is flying solo, Edgar's off doing other things. He couldn't make it, so I have all the power. In Geek News this week, I'm going to be talking about the Yahoo data breach, Uber and Google self-driving cars, Facebook trying to kill fake news, casting news for Aquaman, Star Trek Discovery, and so much more, folks. We're going to begin our show, though, with Geek News. Yep, that's right. Just a logo, no music this week because I had to change some stuff. Okay, in Geek News, I am going to begin with Yahoo. Yahoo announced Wednesday that data provided by law enforcement in November indicates a security breach that compromised more than 1 billion, yes, that's right, folks, billion with the B, accounts in August of 2013. Information included names, email addresses, telephone numbers, dates of birth, hashed passwords using a very easily crackable form of security, MD5, and in some cases, encrypted or unencrypted security questions and answers. This is not the first time this happened to Yahoo this year. It was also revealed on September the 22nd that this happened earlier. So not a good year for Yahoo. Yahoo is also currently being acquired by Verizon, and the price of that purchase just plummeted with this news. So not an awesome day for Yahoo. In other tech news, though, we have Alphabet, the company that used to be named Google. Parent company of Google announced that this Tuesday it is going to be moving its autonomous car project from Google X, which is like their test company, into a new company entirely, its own name called Waymo. All their partners are still on board with it. Fiat Chrysler says that they can continue to work with Waymo on this particular project. The CEO of Waymo, John Carfody, said that technology could be used for ride-sharing, transportation, trucking, logistics, personal use vehicles, and of course, working with automotive makers, public transportation. Bloomberg has also announced or revealed, sources say that Alphabet hopes to have a ride-sharing service available for passengers by the end of 2017. So hopefully this is going to work out for them. We're going to move on to our next story, though. Facebook. Facebook is trying to crack down on fake news. Earlier this year, it was a really big news story that Facebook had a problem with fake news, apparently. So much so that it actually influenced the political election for the president. Whether or not that's true, Facebook is addressing that with this particular new technology where they're hoping to kind of eliminate those, or at least let people know that this may be a fake story. I'm going to tell you what their process is going to be. They're going to identify those fake stories using great algorithms and kind of showing that people are posting fake stories and then dropping them once they figure out that it's fake. So they're using some sophisticated computers to just flag news stories. They're not going to automatically take them down, but they are going to flag them automatically. Then actual Facebook employees are going to check them individually. They're going to check first to see if they're coming from supposed news organizations or if they're just from personal blogs and posts. They're going to check the domain names for them to see if they're coming from personal blog sites or just personal opinion sites. And if that's the case, they're going to leave them there because those are protecting their free speech, and they're not fake news stories. They're just opinions that may be weird or, awesome or strange, whatever it is. But if they're coming from people that are saying they're news organizations and have the domain names, then they're going to actually cross-check that flag story against well-known, reputable fact-checking websites like Snopes, PolitiFact, FactCheck.org, and ABC News. And if those fact-checking websites have flagged those stories as saying these are fake and here's our proof, then the check-in is done and they're actually going to do something about it. Facebook is actually requiring that at least 2 individual sources are marking this as disputed. And if that's the case, then a banner will be placed under the article in the newsfeed that will read, "Disputed by third-party fact-checkers," with links to the actual articles that's saying that this is fake. Disputed articles will also show up lower in news feed, so hopefully you won't see as many. And also attempts to share a disputed article will trigger a pop-up informing the user that this is a disputed article. Disputed articles will also not be eligible to be promoted through Facebook advertising. And of course, to prevent places that are pretending to be legitimate sources, but are just exist to promote fake news sources, they're actually going to be blocking people who use spoof domain names or like fake domain names like abcnewscom.co. So it sounds and looks like abcnews.com, which is a legitimate place, but you notice it's abcnewscom.co, which is not the actual domain name for ABC News. So people who are actually legitimately trying to fool people will be blocked automatically, and to prevent them from doing these things. So I think this is great that Facebook is making an attempt to filter out some spam, some fake news. Now, whether it's going to succeed or not, or if it's going to be used politically, we'll have to wait and see. People always tend to try to use these things to do their own ends, but hopefully this works out. I have high hopes. On to our next story, though. This week, Uber rolled out a limited test for their automated car service in San Francisco. And the vehicle is not going to show up empty, though. They're going to be Uber employees who are monitoring the vehicle, recording data information for them. And, so people can opt out if they don't want to take the chance of getting an automated vehicle. But if this story has so many more layers to it, my friends. As soon as Uber actually started using and testing the service in San Francisco, the state of California DMV slapped them with a command saying, please stop this. This is illegal. You need to get the correct permits. They even said they will even go so far as to process legal action against Uber if they do not comply. Now, Uber's response was this. Nope, not going to happen. They're actually saying that they are compliant. They've read the letter of the law. And as long as there are people present in the vehicle, they do not have to file for it. So that's Uber's point of view. And this is not unusual for Uber to take the road less traveled and to go against local ordinances in order to promote their own businesses. Heck, the entire model of ride-sharing services rubbed a lot of local ordinances the wrong way in people, places like New York, big cities where they have taxi services. So this is not unusual for Uber. I'm interested to see how far they're going to take it, though. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, on to Amazon. This week, Amazon launched a private UAV delivery trial December the 9th in the UK, delivering an Amazon Fire TV and a bag of popcorn to one lucky UK resident. There are actually 2 people in the UK who are involved in this test. Now, Amazon plans to eventually expand to all its shoppers who live near the Prime Air Fulfillment Center near Cambridge in the UK. So hopefully a lot more people are going to get this UAV or automated drone delivery service to them. The first trial took 13 minutes from order to delivery, and Amazon's goal is to keep the process less than 30 minutes. So imagine, folks, at some point in the future, you can click an order on Amazon, and it will be delivered automatically to your home in less than 30 minutes. I mean, I know pizza companies who cannot keep that kind of promise, but at some point, you can order anything you want, and hopefully it'll be dropped by a drone to your house, and hopefully no one will shoot that drone out of the sky and steal your home. That's my firm hope for humanity. Okay. Next story is Instagram. This is a short one. Instagram started rolling out live broadcasting in the US to its stories function. So now it's just like Facebook and Periscope. They do live broadcasting now. So good for you, Instagram, for catching up. Okay, next one. Apple started selling its Bluetooth headphones Tuesday morning. They're called AirPods. They have no connecting wires, sell for $159. Delivery dates are been pushed back to January already. Now, this is sort of a older story. Amazon's latest phones don't have headphone jacks, so they require Bluetooth headphones. And they, at the same point, announced these wonderful AirPods, only they didn't come out with the phones. They were delayed because of technical issues getting it correct, and they're finally ready to go. Apple is starting to sell them. So hopefully if you're an Apple person and you have that latest phone, you're waiting for these, now they're available. They look kind of weird and they're kind of small, and I assume people are just going to lose one at some point, and it's going to cost you at least $50 to replace one of those headphones. We've already read it online. But hey, if that's what you're into, good for you. I like Android. Okay, next story. Video games. Yay! Super Mario Run launched on iOS this Thursday. Whoa. Apple got something better. The app is free to download, and it gives you the first 3 World Tour levels for free. So it's like a demo. Now you can unlock the rest of the game if you pay a $9.99 one-time fee. And so you get the first 2 levels. Everyone can try it out on Apple and iOS now. But if you want the full game, like $10. Now, consider this is supposed to be a full rich game from Nintendo. That price is relatively cool. I mean, if you think of video games you're getting on the Nintendo Wii U, which is like $50-$60, on the Nintendo 3DS, which is at least $40 to $50, and on Xbox One and the PS4, which is $60, this is actually pretty cool. So there we go. On to Rita Repulsa. Now, this is going to be a story that spoils some things, folks, so be aware of that. Skip ahead 1 minute if you don't want spoils for the Power Rangers. Now, according to the rap, Rita Repulsa, played by Elizabeth Banks, is not just set up to create the Green Ranger. Apparently, she was the Green Ranger at some point in the past. And Zordon, played by Bryan Cranston, was the Red Ranger. If you look at the pictures of her outfit and costume, you see the Green Ranger thing. And apparently, if you look at her staff, she has the Morphin Power Ranger thing for the Green Ranger. So there you go, folks. Lots of layers here. In this particular story. So those are your spoilers. Hope you're going to enjoy the movie. I'm probably more likely to watch it now. Now, in other news, of course, we have Patrick Wilson that has been cast in Aquaman. Apparently, he's going to be playing the half-brother of Aquaman. He's going to be the supervillain known as Ocean Master. There you go. That's it. If you can see the video feed here, folks, you have a picture of the guy and the character. If you don't have the video feed or listen to just on the podcast, you have to look up James Wan and probably Ocean Master. So there it is. But the movie is set to release October the 5th, 2018. So you have plenty of time to go research and catch up on this. Okay, next casting story. We have casting for Star Trek Discovery. The main character has finally been cast, apparently. And it's someone you might know or be familiar with. Sonequa Martin Green has been cast as the lead role in the upcoming Star Trek Discovery. Now, that's going to be CBS's latest iteration of the Star Trek series. It's going to be set before Star Trek, the original series, but it's going to be modern, looking nice. I mean, not modern, but modern video technique, so it's not going to look campy, hopefully. It is, however, not going to be on CBS normal television channel. The first episode is going to be on CBS normal channel, but the rest of the series is only going to be available on CBS.com, which kind of sucks, unless you have questionable means of downloading them from the internets. I do. I totally plan to. I won't use questionable means. I'll be on the iTunes. So there you go, folks. A couple more stories before we go. Margaret Robbie is going to do that new movie, remember, for the Suicide Squad and Harley Quinn, called Gotham City Sirens. Now, she is bringing along the former director for the Suicide Squad, and his name is David Ayer. There you go, folks. So she has her new movie. She's going to be an executive producer on it, and she's bringing along the old director. So good for them for staying chummy, folks. Now, our last story of this week is kind of a sad one. Alan Thicke is dead at the age of 69. Very sad. You might remember him best from his time as the father on Growing Pains. For a very long time, he was America's father, and he passed away this week at the age of 69 years old. TMZ reports that he died of a heart attack while he was playing hockey with his 19-year-old son. He had a heart attack and he died later at the hospital. So very sad. He had a long, illustrious career as an actor, director, music producer as well. If you look at his IMDb page, there's lists and lists of stuff. He literally worked every year since 1969, as far as I can find. He had something going on, whether it's television, movies, producing, whatever it was. He was a very well-known, well-liked actor, and he did a lot of good content. So he will be missed, but he had a very full life. So there is that. But that's it for the show, folks. We're done. Finito. Almost the shortest episode ever. You see how much shorter this is when it's just me? but there's also not as many good jokes. So there are trade-offs. If you like the podcast though and you want to help support us, you can do so at geekbytespodcast.com/support. But just watching is kind of cool too. So thanks a lot. For Geek Bytes Podcast, I am Ramon Mejia. We're missing Edgar. You can say hello to him next week, hopefully. But as far as the show goes, that's it. And what's our motto? Remember, go geek out about something.